Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome back for another episode of 20 to Midnight, where things are gonna get maybe a little bit spooky today. My name is Gabriel Urbina, and I am the Dungeon Master for this campaign.
And I'm Beth Eyre, and I'm playing Helena Hailstorm. I'm here in London. Hello.
I'm Emma Sherr-Ziarko. I am playing Calistoga Vance, aka Cal, and I am in the Land of Enchantment, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And my name is Mike Schubert. I will be playing the bard Satus and Kurtum. And where in the world is Mike Schubert continues? This time, I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Wow.
Melbourne.
So guys, I need to be straight with you all. I made a deal with the universe today. The lands of my forefathers, Costa Rica, had its first match in the World Cup today. And I said, universe, if Costa Rica wins, I'm letting them all level up and giving them all one free magic item, just like that. That was the bargain that I made. Costa Rica did not win. Costa Rica actually lost 7-0, which is really, really terrible. So congratulations, you're all level 1 again.
No!
You are all being punished for the sins of my
No
people.
way.
Oh, damn.
That doesn't seem fair.
I
Right.
think that it's important that you guys know what headspace your dungeon master
Yeah.
is in
Yeah,
before
Yeah.
we
fair.
really get going today.
Yeah, I rolled
Yeah.
a 19, but Gabriel said we still failed. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Very high DCs today.
That's right. Before we get started today, though, let's just quickly talk about what happened last time. So you returned to the city of Cold River high on your success after the liberation of Marwood Manor. You went to Fortune's Wheel to meet with the person that hired you to save Marwood Manor, Lady Atala Marwood. And instead, after having some nice quiet time with a local aristocrat who you hadn't met before, the police stormed in and you were dragged off to the Ember Citadel, where you faced charges of murder. It seemed that Lady Atala's bodyguard was found torn apart, more or less, and Lady Atala herself has been missing after sending a letter to the commander of the local militia saying that she was very, very worried about the three of you and felt extremely threatened. You all carried off a very daring escape from the prison after a not so daring escape attempt that did not go as well as we perhaps
It
wanted
was
it to go.
daring.
It was daring. It was impressive.
It was daring. I dared.
You dared, indeed.
Yeah, you did.
Thanks. Guys.
Afterwards, you checked back in with Maeve Blackwater at the Eye of the Storm, who gave you a little bit of much-needed orientation. It seems that these pieces of volcanic glass, kind of obsidian ore that you found in the tomb underneath Marwood Manor are some kind of weapon that ancient Aldoran warriors known as Cavaliers used to wield, and that there is something inside the sort of glass rock exterior of the stones that you currently have. But beyond that, she's not really sure what is going on there. She was much more alarmed by the fact that you also found that strange pocket watch, which she called a Void Keeper, which is basically a doom detector. And it seems that events are now in motion that, if not stopped, will result in the end of the world in just about 198 days now. So the clock is ticking, and you guys have decided that the best lead out of the various ones that Maeve put in front of you was to go talk to a mage acquaintance of hers who has been known to be able to channel the spirits of the dead and has been running some experiments in the town of Wind's Roost, about day and a half, 2 days travel to the north of Cold River. And with that, you guys set off. You managed to escape the city without further run-ins with the guard and began your journey towards the town of Wind's Roost. Anything big that I'm forgetting? Anything else?
Did you mention that we freed Victor?
No, I did not.
Oh, yeah.
Fan
Yeah.
favorite Victor, who was
We
in the
did
cell
free
next to you
Victor.
guys. You guys decided that this man also needed to be protected from the jaws of injustice, and you freed him
Yeah.
and took him with you as you escaped. Oh, very important though. The police did take possession of Mike's piece of volcanic glass ore. And so you don't
Yeah.
have that anymore. You have the one that Helena took, and you have the one that Cal took from the tomb. But
Right.
Satus has gone MIA.
Yeah, all I have is the stinky pocket watch of doom.
The stinky pocket
Yeah,
watch of doom.
yeah.
That's right.
Stinky pocket. Does it smell bad?
I mean, it doesn't smell as good as my cool glass volcanic orb. That's for
true.
sure.
That's true.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I will say Gabriel's omission of Victor is putting my worries that Victor is Vintner at ease. So
Yes. Yeah. Vintner,
unless
the-
it's a double, like
Could
maybe
be a
it's a double
double
bluff, and he,
Yeah.
Gabriel's
Yeah,
like,
he's
I
just
know what I'll
toying
do.
Let
with
the
our
mind
minds.
games commence.
Oh no, not mind games.
Oh, jeepers
no.
creepers.
Yeah, from here on.
Oh, man.
So I think that Maeve mentioned that her acquaintance's name in Wind's Roost was named Lorik. But after that, every NPC that you're meeting from here onwards is called names that start with V, just to keep you
Is-
on your toes.
Sounds
Oh, good.
good. Yeah.
Paranoia games. What
Lord.
no?
And actually,
Okay.
though, as the new day begins, as you sort of like begin the new day on the road, Satus, when you returned from the vision that you went on in the tomb underneath Marwood Manor, all three of you had kind of this feeling of this cold presence in your chest. It's not exactly gone, but it definitely feels lessened when you wake up this morning. It definitely sort of feels less pronounced, less strong, as you kind of get your bearings after a good night's sleep.
Okay. Noted.
Interesting.
Cal and Helena's, yours is as strong as it was the
Oh.
moment that you woke
Just
up on that
the-
tomb.
Oh really?
Okay.
Yes, it is
Interesting.
only Satus's that feels somewhat reduced.
Interesting.
Okay.
But
Well,
it's a new day. You are on the road.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
we should probably get out of here.
Yeah.
Seeing as how we're wanted for possibly multiple crimes and or misdemeanors, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we broke out of that prison with you impersonating. So yes, we should probably.
Yeah, let's
Again,
hop it.
allegedly.
allegedly.
Well, yes,
Impersonating.
allegedly.
But yeah, let's so we're heading north, right?
I think so.
You are headed north.
A new
indeed.
dawn. A new day.
Okay.
We're off to see the wizard.
Wizard. I feel like we should write a song about
This
this.
stream is now canceled. You all die.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Come on, it's in
Story
the public
over.
domain now, right?
Yeah, it is. It is in the public domain.
Let's go.
Though,
And
fun
there's three of
fact,
us. Mhm.
still over the rainbow will get you in trouble.
Oh my. Okay.
So,
Ooh.
yes, I can speak
Hands off
from
that.
experience about that. I'll tell you all about that later. Not me personally, but something I was involved in. Anyway.
All right, you heard it here first. Emma's in copyright trouble. Spread it far and wide.
Ooh.
Okay, so you are basically just kind of hauling ass. You're trying to put as much distance between yourself and Cold River as possible, while kind of heading in the northwardly direction towards Wind's Roost.
That's right.
Um,
And if there's any indication that there's buried treasure en route, that'd be great because we're running quite low
Yeah,
on funds.
yeah.
I'm not saying there will be, just saying Helena would be just keeping an eye out.
roll me,
Yeah.
roll me a perception check, Beth. Why not?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Fine. That's an 8 minus 1 for a 7.
There are, to your eyes, no indications of buried treasure that has been just left along the wayside.
But I'm keeping an eye out. I'll probably notice.
The thing that you do notice about a day's travel out of Cold River is that the path begins to turn from kind of a fairly flat walk into a little bit of an upward climb as the ground begins to slope upwards. You realize that you are in the very beginning of what's known as the Bitter Hills, sort of this mountain range in the very, very northern edge of the Black Crown that separates it from the Diamond Wastes of the Teldorath, which are even further to the north past them. And as you are walking, it also starts to get colder. It is, it was a little bit of like fall climate around Cold River, but it is definitely now starting to have a real bite in the chill of the wind. And as you're going this way, you run into someone on the road. Emma, could I have you roll a D100, please?
D100, yes. I think these are okay. Here we go. 96.
Whoa.
Either gonna be really good or really bad.
Yep.
With a 96, you see the approaching figure of a broad-shouldered orc, leading a horse, as he's walking next to the horse, kind of leading it by the reins. The horse loaded up with various goods, and he himself over one shoulder, the one that he's not using to lead the horse, carrying a large rucksack. He looks like a traveling salesman, and you've spotted him. He does not seem to have shown any sign of having spotted you yet. He's going opposite directions from you on this road.
Guys, there's
Yes?
there's a big guy over there. Do you see him?
Oh yeah, he's huge.
Yeah, he's pretty big.
He is about
should
7
we-
feet tall.
Okay. He looks like he could have stuff or be nice, but he also looks like he could kill us.
Huh.
So, what do you guys think? Should we go talk to him, or?
I say we approach, we make nice, and we go into this knowing we don't have a lot of funds, so maybe we feign
Yeah.
interest, but see what his deal is.
Sounds good.
Okay.
As the orc draws closer, and you guys make no obvious attempt to hide yourselves, he will spot you and, momentarily let go of his horse as he raises a hand in greeting and goes, "Travelers! Greetings! Wonderful to meet another friendly face out in the road. How's the road treating you today?"
Greetings, traveller. It's very nice to meet a friendly face indeed. We found the road quite steep and cold of late, but it's been going okay.
Well, that's the way it goes
What's your
when you walk
business?
the Bitter Hills.
The Bitter
Bitter
Hills, yes.
Oh,
Aptly
yes.
named.
Where are you folks off to, and is there anything that you've realized you've forgotten at home and could sure do with? A bottle opener, a toothbrush, some sort of whetstone to sharpen your swords?
I did leave my toothbrush back in a place where we were staying, and you always just leave toothbrushes wherever I go. I just can't hang on to them.
Well, madame, it's your lucky day. You can have a toothbrush for the measly price of 10 copper pieces.
10 copper. Really?
Absolutely.
How many coppers of gold?
100 coppers make a gold, 10 coppers make a silver, 10 silvers make a gold. It's all power of 10. It's very, very simple.
What do you guys think? Maybe just to get this guy feeling good about stuff, I'll give him 10 copper for a toothbrush.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get a toothbrush.
You've got a deal, sir. And what was your name?
Grand. Very nice to meet you all.
Oh,
Ron.
Rond.
And he
nice to meet
he
you.
starts to dig through the various pockets that are on the very large kind of travel backpack that his horse is carrying. And as he does, his sleeves roll up a bit, and you see that his arms are pretty much completely covered in tattoos of something. Mike, what are his tattoos of? Like, what does Grand have tattooed on his arm?
Ooh, I would say he has, like, tattoos of like, big trees from whatever, like, his hometown is. Like, whatever his regional version of, like, a redwood would be.
Awesome.
I think he's got those going on.
Yeah. And it's sort of, like roots and branches and leaves. They're very, very intricate. Like, this is very clearly, every arm is covered in this wonderful, beautiful tree tapestry that clearly took multiple sessions to be put down onto his skin. But a moment later, he does find a toothbrush and hands it over to you, Cal, and extends his hand for 10 copper.
And I will reach into my pocket and pull out 10 copper and put it in his hand.
Wonderful, wonderful. Anything else that you folks are in the market for? Where are you off to? Don't know a lot of places around these parts.
Before we tell him what we're up to, is there some sort of, like, perception or insight check that I could do to make sure he truly is a salesman and not just, like, a very good con artist that's trying to steal information?
He is, like, 2 sentences away from asking you to sign up for his newsletter.
Yeah.
That would be an insight check, yes. It's kind of just
All right,
like a general vibe on this guy.
Okay, that was just a 7 + 4 for an 11.
I mean, I think that with that, your sensor goes off of, like, this guy only cares about one thing here, which is to sell as much stuff as possible. Like, he's, like, definitely putting on a little bit of being a friendly show, but beyond that, you detect no ill will or ill intent. And you do know that kind of traveling salesmen a little bit live by their reputation as being helpful and friendly. So there's not a ton to gain by him, like, really, really fucking you over unless there's something really well hidden going on.
Right. Then with that, I think Satus would probably just tell him, "Oh, we're heading up a little farther north. We're making our way to Wind's Roost to visit a potential associate that might help us out with our business."
His eyebrows go up and he sort of goes, "Wind's Roost. Lots of interesting rumors about stuff going on around Wind's Roost. They're saying that there's even been dragon sightings around those parts recently. Are you sure you want to go there?"
We don't really have much of a choice not to, so whether it's our preference or not, it is our plan.
He'll sort of go, "Okay."
I don't believe those dragon rumors anyway. Come on. But also, it would be super cool if they were true.
Look, no one has seen a dragon in quite a bit of time, but, you are careful with where you go, especially sort of around these parts. The further north you go, the stranger things get. Like, it can be pretty wild. It's mighty cold around there this time of year, and he's kind of eyeing your clothes. Do you have protection against the cold? Do you have coats, warm doublets, that sort of thing?
Well, we have our cloaks, as you see.
Yeah.
You're talking cold, very cold, though, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm talking something a little heavier duty, I suppose.
Well, I guess we didn't totally plan for that, but how much colder is it there than it is here? Because I'm fine here. This is great.
It's quite a bit colder. It's about freezing there.
Oh dear.
Which, you all look like stout, hearty fellows, so maybe you don't need cold protection.
We are stout, hearty fellows, more or less. What would you recommend? The fact is, we're not terribly heavy in the coin department, so we probably wouldn't be able to purchase anything anyway, but we'd be interested to know what you'd recommend.
He will go and root through his bags a little bit before producing 3 sort of heavy doublets, some of which definitely show signs of age. And he'll go, I could part with these for 2 gold apiece. Definitely used, definitely have seen a little bit of wear and tear, but in terms of heat and protection from the elements, you could do no better.
I do get
Secondhand.
chilly sometimes.
Do you?
I do. Those look nice.
I wouldn't want you to be chilly, Cal.
Thanks.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. But I also can make fire.
Yes. Yes, you can. What do you reckon, Satus? Do you want a second-hand warm coat?
You know, if it seems like something we should have on the journey, then sure. But again, I don't necessarily know that we need to blow the remaining bits of our very tiny money stash on a purchase.
We should get them, but maybe let's try to haggle down.
Okay, we can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of
Good
looking
sir.
at you expectantly, an eyebrow raised.
Yeah. We're very grateful to you, of course, for your offer to help keep us warm. We're in a tight spot right now.
I'll say,
And,
you're heading into the cold without adequate protection. That seems fairly tight to me.
Yes. We're also tight in the coin purse department. Very, very thin. So what would you say if we could get all 3 for 4 gold?
A 33% discount. You want a full third of the price off.
Yes.
Yeah.
He sort
I
of,
get very cold. I don't know if you know tieflings. We get very cold.
that, if anything, is an incentive for me to raise the price, as I think that you really want this coat. But he
But you
crosses,
seem like a
he
nice
crosses his
guy.
arm with a crooked smile and sort of goes, okay, convince me. Tell me why I should let you have these for 4 gold.
And I think Cal just looks to Satus.
I would step up. Sir, if the mission that we seek to accomplish is successful and we are donning your coats, not only will people wonder who we are, they will wonder where we got such wonderful vintage coats from, and we will gladly direct any inquiries of where did you get that fine jacket to you and to your business, and we'll pass that along. So think of it not only as, giving us coats, but also a potential branding opportunity.
Roll me that persuasion check.
Okay, so that would be a 7 plus 6 for a 13.
He'll stroke his chin and then almost unconsciously kind of glance at his horse as if sort of going like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And then he'll look back at you guys and go, I could part with all 3 of them for 5.
Sounds fair enough.
I think that sounds fair.
Pleasure doing business.
And a moment later, he has handed you 3 nice warm doublets and taken 5 of your gold.
How much gold do we have left?
35. 35 gold. This is what you have
35,
left
okay.
by my record keeping.
Okay. Great.
Anything
All right.
else I can do for you?
Nothing for purchase, but you seem to be a bit familiar with the area of Roost. Is there anyone that we should be aware of, just to kind of keep an eye out? It's going to be the first time visiting for all 3 of us.
I haven't been by Roost in a couple of years. I tend to walk this route, but there's kind of ways around it where you don't actually have to go through that. It's a pretty small logging town, but honestly, I haven't heard a lot about the people itself that are coming there, just a lot of travelers going by that area saying there have been sightings of dragons. But the last time that I was there, it was nice, it was friendly, it was pretty tight-knit. But beyond that, I can't tell you much.
Okay, well, thank you for the advice. Thank you for helping us out, cutting us a bit of a deal here, and hopefully we will see you again soon, and maybe we'll have a bit more to spare on our end so we can get more than just some second-hand jackets. Though these are wonderful. Don't let me think I'm disrespecting these.
Not at all. Safe travels and best of luck, and may our paths cross once again. And with that...
You've been very friendly and helpful.
And with that, Grand moves off and leaves you standing alone on the road.
I liked that guy.
Yeah,
that was a pleasant experience.
Yeah, it could have been much worse.
So weird.
All right.
well.
Yeah.
Well, we're a bit warmer. We're a bit lighter in the cash department, but not too much. Nice job, Cal.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very good.
Saved us one whole gold there.
Look, could come in handy.
It could. And I've got a toothbrush now. Who knows
Yeah,
how
you
we could use this to save the day.
Oh, gosh. We can't forget you have a toothbrush. We have to try to use it. We can't forget. Yeah, I think let's make our way.
Hang
Yeah,
on, I
that's
need
good.
to take a note about Cal having a toothbrush. Let me
Yeah,
not miss
for no
this
reason
vital
whatsoever.
development.
Nothing is more frustrating when you either listen to a D&D podcast or watch a D&D stream where someone has like a cool item that they forget. And I think Cal's toothbrush, we need to make sure that we
Cal's
don't forget
toothbrush.
it.
And all our weird
Yes.
special gifts.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Do you keep going on the road?
Yes.
We sure
Yeah.
do.
Can I have survival checks from everyone, please?
Oh, ba-doo.
Oh, goody.
Okay. Let's see if I can roll not a 7 again. Oh, much better. I got a 18 plus 4 for a 22.
I got a 10 minus 1 for 9.
Emma?
I got a 2.
Oh no.
Satus's
that
jacket is
coat.
lined with,
I told you I don't like the cold.
You can have my jacket.
Oh, very sweet of you.
As you keep walking up the mountain path that takes you through the beginnings of the Bitter Hills, it clearly becomes apparent that, like, Grand just, like, completely saved your ass. Because as you keep rising, the wind chill becomes an absolute factor. And it is this sort of very, very, very bitter, biting wind that is kind of, meeting you at every corner of these, like, mountain roads. But those doublets absolutely let you kind of make it through without any major problem beyond just the discomfort of how cold it is. And it is perhaps that very discomfort that keeps getting Cal slightly turned around, and she kind of keeps saying that you guys should try to go this way when Satus keeps looking at the map being, what if we just stay on the road? What if we kept following the road that is marked and following sort of like the signs that Maeve told us to look for on the road to Wind's Roost?
I think I've got my like cloak so far over my head and I'm like just kind of wrapped up like this that I can't really see, and so I just keep like almost walking off like a cliff or something.
You do, however, continue making good time towards Wind's Roost, and it is towards the end of the afternoon when you think that you are maybe about an hour away from the town. When, given that exact way that you're walking, Cal, you see something before the others do. It is that shadow that glides over the ground as if something very large was suddenly over you, and then a moment later it was gone.
Huh.
And as you look up that way, perception checks, please.
Ooh. All right. Okay, I got 9 plus 5 for 14.
16 minus 1, 15.
Emma?
Natural one.
Ooh, oh no.
It's a big, thick hood.
Very thick.
Covers the ears, covers
Yeah.
the eyes, covers the nose.
Just a really full-on hood.
Yep, you kind of, dart around a little bit and maybe even get a little tangled up in your clothing, and you think that that's why you don't see whatever it was. But Satus, Helena, neither do you. You sort of look up, and above you it's just clear, empty sky. There's barely even a cloud up there. So you really don't know what could have made that very large shadow that, like, momentarily blotted up the sun around you.
Weird. Could have been a very fast-moving cloud.
Extremely fast-moving. Just very, very, very fast-moving cloud.
You just don't know.
I think as I turn to look up, I then start looking up and don't notice that there's a rock in front of me, and I trip over the rock and having a rough morning.
20 to midnight, the Cavalier Chronicles, for all your dignified adventuring needs.
Wow!
I can take your hand like I did with Victor if necessary.
I might need that.
We gotta get Cal some walking poles.
Yeah.
The Helena patience meter is gradually getting chipped away. After about another hour of walking, though, you finally sort of round the corner in the mountain pass and arrive at sort of this little bit of flat land in what was once very clearly a thick forest. And a section of it has been cleared off where there's now a collection of, it's tiny, it's maybe about 15 sort of log cabin buildings that are there. And right now you just see the log cabin buildings. There is nothing really there, no movement, no sort of activity that you see. But you're still a ways away.
Like a sign of a fireplace? Is there any smoke coming out of a chimney or something?
Not at the moment.
Oh, God. Maybe we could try going up to one of the buildings and see if somebody can help us and maybe give us a cup of tea or something.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay.
Could I have perception checks from everyone as you pull up to the town proper?
13 minus 1 for 12.
19.
19.
Natural one.
No.
Okie dokie. So
Now that we're here, suddenly Cal's like,
yeah, you're really looking for that fire.
yeah.
Okay, so Satus, you keep, I think, looking at the sky. You're like, I'm gonna find whatever that gosh darn thing was. And you slightly trip over a root and almost tumble and fall.
Yeah, it's on brand.
Helena,
What is it with everyone?
You're just looking for any signs of civilized activity. You're kind of waiting to hear people's voices or hear sort of moving, hustle, bustle, anything. And you don't really hear it, even as you sort of start to reach the point when you're walking past the buildings towards what would be the town square. It's eerily quiet. Cal, you spot something curious, which is that as you sort of step towards town, it's almost like there's a certain point past which the grass on the ground is just dead, almost fossilized. And past that point, the couple sort of little bits of vegetation and animal life, it all kind of stops. As you sort of walk into the town, all of a sudden it's a life-free zone.
Huh. Guys,
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
this is weird.
The silence?
Yeah. And Cal points at the grass. And
Ooh, nasty.
it feels dead.
It does feel kind of dead, doesn't it?
And a moment later, there's a scream from somewhere in the town.
That's not good. Rarely is a scream a good sign.
Do we want to help the screamer, or are we going to take the scream as a let's get out of here side? I feel like if someone's in danger, we should try to help them out.
And then
Yeah,
from
that's our
another
thing,
from
right?
another part of the town, another scream.
Oh, shit.
Do we feel like these are people being attacked screams or like searching for prey screams?
We also know there's a wizard here who's pretty powerful, and he might be messing
And then
with
you
us.
see them, the first of a bunch of halflings that round the corner around some buildings and start to run past you as if fleeing from something in the town. And now there's more screaming, there's more sort of strange, worried, scared sounds from more and more people that are suddenly pouring out of this town.
Hi guys. Hi, can one of you? What
What are you running from?
As they run past you, not really paying a lot of attention to you, you start to hear the snatches of dialogue there, and it's in a language that none of you quite understand, as they sort of are just going and running past you as they sort of chitter and chatter scaredly to themselves. And a moment later, a gust of wind hits you.
But we still don't see anything. We just feel a big gust of wind.
Just big gust of wind from somewhere above you.
Okay. Look up.
Yeah.
You see at this time the figure of a very large green dragon that descends and lands in the town square a little bit ahead of you.
Is there a dungeon we could hide in safety?
Yeah.
You could dive into one of the buildings, but like the doors are still around the corner. You're kind of in this like alley sort of between the buildings.
Buildings and
cabins,
dragons.
right? They're made of wood,
Buildings
they're
and-
flammable buildings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Although, quick nature check. Helena, roll me a nature check, please.
Yep. That is a 17 with nothing to add.
Green dragons have a toxic, poisonous breath, not a fire breath. So you may not need to worry about that, although the toxic gas may still be able to like seep through the non-airtight cabins.
Great.
Great.
So we should maybe run? I don't know how to deal with dragons.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a let's reason with the villain situation with the dragon, so I think joining in the running...
The dragon as villain narrative, that's propaganda.
As you say that, the
I've
dragon's
But
head
also...
focuses on the space where you guys are in, and you see it rear up as it gathers air up in its mouth.
Yeah, we definitely try to get out of the way of that.
We
Okay,
gotta
I'm
run.
going to
We gotta
run.
run.
I'm going to run
Yes,
to the
let's
nearest
run.
cabin.
I'm going to say let's make just straight up dexterity checks to see if you're able to run out of this alley between these buildings in time.
Okay.
That would be a 5.
Ooh,
18 plus 1.
19. And Emma?
6 + 2 for an 8.
Helena, you're able to dive around the corner of a building just a smidge ahead of Cal and Satus. But unfortunately, you're the only one that makes this as this plume of green smoke arises and just descends and runs through this alley that you're in. All around you, halflings collapse to the ground, clutching at their throats. But you're fine. Strangely, this does not affect you guys. And a moment later, it all starts to lose color and consistency and then fades away. And the town is back to the way that it was before that first halfling scream.
But with all the halflings gone, this is so weird.
That's strange.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, we
Was
would
it
have...
an illusion?
Yeah, is this actually Mysterio?
Right? Maybe reasoning with the dragon is back on.
And a moment
Can we-
later, a figure rounds around the buildings as if coming from the center of the town square. And you hear this voice as he says, "Do you three have any idea, just like how much resources went into that trial that you just messed up? It's going to take me days to be able to get him back once again."
You must be the wizard.
Are you
Hello.
Loric?
Yes. As he is kind of slowly walking towards you using this walking stick on the ground. You're able to see what this man is. He has the general sort of features of an elf, right down to the pointed ears. But his skin is almost this scaly green. And he has this hood up over his head, including, and like underneath it rather, there is a blindfold over his eyes. And there's one more sort of feature about this person that immediately jumps out to you, aside from his walking stick, his hood, his green skin, and the blindfold. Emma, what is this feature that you notice about this man?
He's got very pointy, bright purple fingernails.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Excellent.
Nice.
As he will sort of walk up to you and go, "Who's asking?"
We are.
Well, that was
We were
certainly
sent-
illustrative.
Yeah. Hello. I'm Cal, and this is Satus and Helena. We were sent by Maeve.
Maeve
Maeve
Blackwater?
Yeah. We've got
Okay. He'll sort of, like heave this sigh and go, "Well, I bet this will be interesting at least." Okay.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I take it that
You
you're
might-
trying to communicate with someone that has passed the veil.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Unless you can help us in a different way. We need to find out more about Aldoran in the ancient world.
He'll bite his lip at that and go, "Okay, that's interesting. I assume there's a story?"
There is a story, and
Look at Satus.
boy, is it a doozy.
Come,
Should I
help
just
me-
say we tell
Help
the classic
help
thing when
me
the
start a
narrator's like,
fire,
they
and
tell
I'll
him.
help me start a fire. We can cook ourselves a little bit of a stew for dinner, and you can tell me what's going on.
Really good.
That would be wonderful. We'd
Come.
love a fire, and we'd love to hear about your trial, which we disrupted. We didn't realise.
Come
What's
this
happening?
way.
Pretty cool. Very terrifying.
He'll
Yes.
sort of, with his bright purple fingernails, gesture you guys towards the center of the town square, where he does have sort of this little fire pit, which he will quickly throw some wood onto, start a fire, get out a little pot, and as Satus, I presume, mostly tells him the story, he will be cooking sort of this vegetable meal and eventually distribute some bowls to you guys. It's actually delicious. It's like goddamn delicious if you guys try it.
You just rolled for taste.
yeah.
He got a
Roll for
natural
taste.
20 on his cooking skill.
Wow.
This
This
is actually
guy
his name is actually Robertius Flamen.
yeah. This is really good. Thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
lovely.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated.
Helena, I think that you said that you were also curious about the trial that he was running and that you wanted to ask about that.
Yes, we are sorry for disrupting your trial. There weren't any signs or anything, and we are unfamiliar with how things are around here. But what was that? It was slightly terrifying and very impressive.
Well, the before Wind's Roost was here, there used to be a halfling town here called, what was it? It was called The PC has it written down somewhere. Where was it? Oh my lord. Snow Rise.
So this shoot.
That's
Snow Rise.
the halfling city, the halfling town of Snow Rise used to be here. Some 14 centuries ago, the green dragon, the Lethargic, came here and annihilated it. But there's still some restless spirits here, a little bit of an impression of that act of violence. And I'm trying to see how much of it I can channel through my abilities to commune with the other side into the present, to try to divine a little bit about what happened there, try to figure out what the dragon's motivations were, try to see what knowledge it might have. If I'm fortunate, and I do it enough times, I might even be able to get a glimmer of the dragon's intelligence and personality to shine through, and hopefully learn some of its secrets.
So, like, living through a historical recreation to ascertain information. How intriguing!
That's the one. That's what I do. That's my speciality.
So none of it was real. The halflings.
Oh no, it was quite real. It was quite real, Miss Hailstorm. It was just real some millennia and change ago.
Yes. Fascinating. I would love to learn that, but
That's
yes.
very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, how long have you been doing stuff like that?
They're about 20 years now. I had a
Oh, wow.
near-death experience. I touched the veil, and then I returned. And when I did, some part of me came back ever so slightly changed, and I've been able to see much of that world and the imprint that it lives upon the world of the living in a very, very different way than the way that most people see it.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
So what can I do for the three of you, though?
Well, as Cal mentioned, we need to understand a bit more about the land of Aldoran, some older things. We're in a interesting situation where the question is somewhat more of when than anything, knowing things that happened in the past, what's going on with us right now. And we all had a bit of a strange experience where I feel like we experienced the past. I don't know if it's the same way that you did with almost touching the veil there, but we're trying to just make sense of what's at stake here. Stopping to meet with you before going on some other journeys, because we are on a bit of a time crunch, as we have learned.
He'll sort of think to himself for a moment. Sorry, Helena. Cal, rather. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, do you want to show him the weird clock?
Definitely. I show him the stinky pocket watch of doom.
The stinky pocket watch of doom.
Now's actually a good time to mention that if this man moves with a level of precision, that means that having the blindfold over his eyes seems to in no way impair his ability to move around. Like, he seems to sort of have his other senses developed to a point, or whatever sort of additional sight of the world beyond this one that he has. It seems developed to such a point that he does not in any way seem to be slowed down by having that blindfold over his eyes. And this sort of stands out because this is one of the first moments when he really takes the pocket watch and kind of spends some time feeling through its nuances and really kind of slows down to kind of really sort of feel every intricacy of the Void Keeper before he gives it back to you. And he'll nod slowly and go, I might be able to help you, but it's going to be somewhat tricky. Because I presume that my usual method of spending several months building a rapport with a spirit and summoning more and more of it into our world is not going to work on your timetable.
Months and months doesn't sound right. It
Yeah.
could be something where we continue on our way. We find a way to keep in communication with each other so you don't have to give us necessarily an answer right here, right now. But months and months doesn't really work for us.
Unfortunately, the only thing that will even let me get started is the fact that you have these objects that have been touched by someone of the Aldoran. If you left me these pieces of volcanic glass ore, then I could perhaps do something, but I'm going to assume that you don't want to do that. There's
Probably not. We already lost one,
so we
and
will
that doesn't feel great.
So we'll need to sort of seek an alternative method to commune with this spirit. For starters, we won't be able to do something here in Wind's Roost. There's an old Aldoran ruin, about half a day's walk to the north of here. That should help to strengthen the connection here. But it will still leave us with the matter of we don't have the time it takes to really help the spirit take form. So I'll need one of you to act as a conduit, as the body through which this spirit that we are communing with is going to express itself upon the world of the living. It is usually just a simple matter of letting your body be the channel through which a spirit answers questions, but I'm not going to pretend that there aren't risks. The spirit might wrestle you for control. The spirit might prove itself to be unwieldy. And I just want to sort of be upfront that if you want answers sooner rather than later, we will need to have one of you be a temporary host for the spirit that we are summoning.
I feel like we would like huddle with the team.
Take a moment
I
to
would
discuss
just-
amongst yourselves.
Mhm.
I'll go put some more carrots
Thank you,
into the
Lorik.
soup.
Thank you.
Really great carrots.
Thank you.
And soup.
Yeah.
We should do this, right? I mean, we don't have much time.
I think we
Yeah.
should. As a matter of who it's for, if I had to put a word on what I think might be a good, let's say, skill to have here, might be to have some good like constitution, if you will. Does that sound like what the checks will have to do is?
Either constitution or wisdom, probably.
Well, I would
Isn't
say
that interesting?
Yeah.
if you had to look at like the average person for their constitution, I would say I'm like 2 steps above average. And if we're talking about wisdom, I think I'm 3 steps above your average bear.
I would say I think I'm quite a bit above average in constitution and wisdom, sort of slightly less so. So yeah.
I would say I'm distinctly neutral when it comes to wisdom. And my constitution, though, is quite good.
Okay.
So
So not Satus.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm a +2, so I don't think me.
I can do it.
Are you sure?
I have a +3 constitution, and I'm not very wise, but
I have +4. And
really,
I do, and I've got some experience with otherworldly beings trying to control me. So
As long as you're comfortable, I think you do seem like you'd be well fit for the job, but you're not forced to do this by any means.
I appreciate that, but I can do it. I'll do it.
All right. We will do our best and we'll be by your side. And that being said, I'm just going to preemptively give a bardic inspiration to Cal just in case and see if that can help with a future roll.
How long does bardic inspiration last?
10 minutes.
But like, how long can she have it?
Oh, it just says a creature within 60 feet gains an inspiration die. For 10 minutes, the creature can add it to one ability check.
Hold off
Attack
on
roll or
that.
saving throw.
Don't
All right,
Hold up.
then I
don't
will.
waste the bardic inspiration.
We're maybe
Great.
we're maybe gonna take a minute before diving into this.
You
And yes, I will
still
give
you
you
still
a
need to
pep talk before.
You still also need to travel to the Aldoran ruin.
Right,
that,
okay, cool.
Yeah, we've
Lorik
got
mentioned.
some. Yeah,
I'll do a second pep talk later.
sounds great. Also,
Thanks,
maybe
Cal.
if I'm being possessed by a spirit, I won't be so cold.
Hey,
Yeah,
Or maybe
there
I'll
you
be
we
go.
could have our
colder.
coats.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
So as you return to Lauren, he'll look up at the three of you and sort of give you an expression of, so?
I'll do it.
Very good. Very good. There's a few more things that we need to go over. In order to do this for the ritual, I'll need a couple of things. Most of them I have or I can easily acquire around the armory, this Aldoran ruin that we'll be traveling to. But I do need a special flower called bloodroot. Bloodroot is a night blooming flower. It's practically impossible to find it during the day. But I will need you to go into the forests around here and find me at least a little bit of bloodroot. If we don't do that, it's a non-starter.
Bloodroot, right?
Bloodroot doesn't sound ominous at all. Great.
Once you have that, we can travel up towards the armory, and I think around midnight we'll be able to try to commune with the spirit. And finally, for services provided and rendered, 50 gold.
Do you have a payment plan option? Klarna, if you will.
Yeah.
He'll sort of go, is this an issue?
Sadly,
Well-
it is.
Yeah. We spent most of our last money on these coats.
And we're owed quite a lot of money, but you know how things are.
Yeah.
I do know how things are, which is why I am somewhat reluctant to enter into an agreement where you owe me money. I do know how these things are.
We do have 35 gold pieces at our disposal that we could give you, so it's not as if we're not being able to pay anything. Just the full 50 might not be something we're able to do right at this moment, but we should, as long as things go our way, we should be coming into quite a fair amount of gold where giving you the remaining bit of that should not be an issue.
Roll me persuasion, please.
Let's go. Come on, baby. I should be good at this. 15 plus 6, 21.
He'll nod his head back and forth and we'll sort of go, I have been curious to try to commune with an Aldoran spirit for quite some time now.
Win-win. Come on.
I'm risking my life.
Oh,
High stakes.
that's very unlikely to be where things escalate to unless this really takes off. Let's
Great,
say
that's very
25
reassuring.
gold up front right now, and 25 gold to be paid within a year. And
Deal's a deal, sir.
the next
That's
time
handsome
you
of
see
you.
Maeve Blackwater, tell her that she owes me a favor.
You know what?
Got
Honestly,
it.
that's fine because we owe Maeve a bunch of stuff. So, you know, having her be on the not receiving end of something sounds a-okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He'll extend the hand towards you, Satus. All right, gentlemen. Well, you have a deal. Go find me some bloodroot.
We'll do that right now. Is there anything in the forest that we should be wary of? As I said, we don't know the area.
Tons. Creatures, wolves, ferocious beasts. You should be exceedingly careful. We are very
Right,
close to
thank
the
you.
Teldorath, so animals start to get quite big and quite savage. So be very careful.
Excellent. Good to know.
Great. Is there anywhere in particular where you think we might find the bloodroot?
He gives you a fairly helpful description of kind of what sort of trees they tend to grow around and where he would start to look for it, as well as a very, very vivid description of what the flower itself looks like. He does point out that it is not just a night blooming flower, but is kind of a flower that closes itself up during the day, so that you should wait until it is properly dark to go look for it.
Great.
And I think on that,
Sounds-
let's take a 5-minute break. Let's go stretch our legs. I'm going to go make myself more tea, and then we'll come back and see how this little quest goes.
Find a flower.
Yeah,
In the dark, with lots of murderous beasts.
Alrighty, folks, so we'll be right back in about 5 minutes.